What do you mean you found the Lord?
I've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. Kurt Cameron explained it all to me. The Lord is my savior.
It's that damn religion channel. She was watching it all day while she was bedridden.
I want to share the word of God with everyone I know, starting with my family. Now, everyone hold hands, because we're going to say grace before we eat. Dad, would you like to do the honors?
Are you kidding? I'd love a chance to shine. All right, Peter, this is it. Dear Lord, please give me the cheat codes for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I have been stuck on Bald Bull for 4 years. I tried left, up, B, dodge, uppercut, but he still knocks me out. And, you know, they say you're supposed to go right, B, up, dodge, left, uppercut. Well, listen to me telling you how to play the game.
Go! Let's go! I'm trying to find a good way to start this. Go! Go! PSP, go!
It's TalkRadar 49!
Oh, man. Oh, Life at the Games Radar. Podcast 49. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a big week at the Games Radar. I'm Chris Antista.
I'm Michael Raparos, PlayStation editor.
He is.
I'm old itchy eyes Brett Elston. My eyes are itching. I don't know. It's this swine flu.
And I'm Shane Patterson. I do stuff too.
Hey!
I believe you have a feature posting today about pigs.
I do.
Oh.
It's a salute to swine.
Yeah.
These are the pigs that won't kill you, and a few that will.
Now, did you think of that, like, when the swine flu epidemic
No, it's just total coincidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
total coincidence.
Yeah. Also, coincidence is Tyler Wilde's feature next week about more stuff. That means
Indeed.
they just decided to have a pandemic right when we
Just saying, later in this podcast, we're going to talk some Wolverine. Brett did a soundtrack feature. We got the winners of the Warcraft contest. Got another series of bad video game movie clips.
I also have later in the community segment. I've got 4 pretty cool T-shirts to give away. All you gotta do is simple thread to give them away. No Photoshop needed to win these shirts. So more on that later.
Cool. But until then, what do we do every week?
We count things as far
Down.
as 7. Anything more is stupid. Anything
Yes.
less is also stupid.
Then why do we have runner-ups?
Because it's just
Because you love those games so much. I hate it. Normally, when I do a feature, I am light and happy to make a stretch.
Yeah.
Or bring up something I can't play. When I get a feature that I can write 20 on this.
Yeah.
Ah!
That happens a lot. Well, not a lot, but occasionally get like the Greenest Games Top 7 last week. I was like, I'm going to be reaching for this. And then by the end, I was like, I've got 17 games.
Didn't we do, like, a top 7, like, one of our first top 7?
Yes.
Like, enemies that are food?
Enemies that are food.
Yes. Early 07, there was Eric actually wrote the top 7 edible enemies.
Really?
Enemies that are food. And this week was top 7 games where you play as food.
Awesome.
So we've got the food angle covered. No one can ever write a food feature again.
It's not allowed.
Is the Noid a food?
The Noid?
No, he steals your food.
He steals pizza.
You sure? Yeah.
Would you say the Hamburglar is food?
I would say he doesn't exist.
I'd
without-
say it depends on how adventurous you are and how flexible your morality is.
Or how drunk you are.
Or how drunk you are.
Even at my drunkest,
you
I would
consider
acknowledge
food.
Hamburglar as a man stealing hamburgers.
All right, but Fry Guys are fries. We're moving into number 7.
Fry Guys are pom-poms.
They're fry. Oh, I'm so mad.
And why do
already.
they eat fries? You saying
I'm
they
sorry,
practice
I'm sorry.
cannibalism?
Cannibals.
So what are the McNuggets?
They're lampshades.
They're weird.
Number
They're
7.
assholes.
Number 7. Number 7
M&M's.
Oh,
is
goodness.
Eminem's kart racing, which seems like it's like the saddest fuck.
Whatchamacallit, the racer.
Whatchamacallit, log jamming. Let's go.
It's just funny that they make candy mascots to the point where they can make video games out of them. Like, I don't see Snickers the game. I mean,
Well, Biker Mice from Mars was basically Snickers the game in Europe.
in Europe, yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder how the fuck games like this get made. Like, who buys these licenses? Who sits down and say, okay, guys,
Really little kids and their grandparents.
M&M license.
Yeah,
what are we going to do with this?
I don't know if anybody's
Kart Racer, 2 for Kart Racer. Okay,
any market studies on the fandom behind M&Ms is fabricated by the fact that every piece of M&M's merchandise comes with M&M's, which are delicious.
Yeah.
So I see those little stupid standees all the time, but they also have their asshole opens up and M&M's fall out when you buy that. No one's buying it for this character. Oh man, remember this guy who sounds like John Lovitz? I really love that piece of candy. The green ones make me horny. Go.
And
The blues taste the best.
commercials.
the taste of the blues, baby.
So,
Wow.
I got
That's a-
Michael giggling.
terrible kart racing game. Looks like they're racing in a level made of shit.
Yes.
Actually, it's fudge.
You should not buy these
that's-
games. No, that's a reskinned Conker's level.
Gotcha.
They put all they did was put an almond where a peanut used to be. That was the poop monster.
Drive across a diarrhea creek.
Would you call those mud flaps?
Yes.
Okay. This one I want Elston to help me out with. Dizzy the egg.
He's an egg.
Yeah, what is that?
He's dizzy.
Clearly,
number 6 is
Clearly some food.
Dizzy, an egg with a safari hat. What's great about
Boxing gloves.
What's great about Dizzy, other than the fact that he meant dick all in the U.S., no one gave a shit. Apparently, he was popular in the UK.
No,
Dude,
he came out in like those Quattro.
It came in a Quattro
cartridges.
arcade. It was 4-in-1. They were unlicensed, and they were like gaudy gold cartridges. Not like Zelda, which was
with
cool
a
and classy.
switch in the back for what?
A switch in the back to overcome Nintendo's various forms of protection to play unlicensed games. Nintendo at one point found a way to lock them out. There was A or B, like Big Nose the Caveman's another one. I know we all love Big Nose the Caveman.
So it hurts my feelings.
Does anybody remember the other two games?
Dude, they were all really bad.
There was another Quattro arcade that was sports. Anyway,
Quattro Sports.
Yeah.
in this case it was Dizzy, which is a side-scrolling game where you're an egg, which the character design is literally a character I made up in 4th grade.
I know.
We called him Cracklin' Man.
I had Booger Man. He was a different
Actually,
color.
no, I didn't make him up. One of my friends made him up. Anyway.
I think he's a character Lewis Carroll came up with called Humpty Dumpty.
Oh!
Hey, was that Lewis Carroll?
I don't know.
Shit. But yeah, what?
I remember seeing the commercials for these games and being so excited. And it's a rare cartridge. I finally picked it up way late in the system's lifespan. And I don't remember what the Switch is for because everything worked for me. I'm like, these games are garbage.
They're pretty crap.
And I looked up in the UK, he has like a 20-game series.
Well, I think it was a lot of Commodore 64s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Spectrum ZX.
Does that X?
And it's almost
ZX.
inexcusable
Oh,
because when
excuse
you take a step back, this guy is a ball of white. There is no character here. He's he's an egg.
He's a smiley face with arms and legs.
And they had a great commercial, but I couldn't find. I couldn't find it, so you're just gonna have to settle for this. You're gonna love
I do want to point out in the article, there's a serving suggestion for each of these. The top 7 games where you play as food on GamesRadar.com. The serving suggestion for Dizzy shows a Dizzy sprite laying on a breakfast plate, and the sausage looks like a decomposed dick.
It is the most British breakfast I've ever seen.
Yeah, British breakfasts are kind of terrifying if you've never had them.
What? That looks fine.
That
Bacon,
scene from Trainspotting,
fried slice of tomato just sitting there on your toast, in between the beans and the egg,
next to your giant banger and balls. Love that picture though. Number 5. Number 5 is my favorite serving suggestion picture, and I have no idea why. It's just hysterical. A little kid biting into a name we all should have thought of years ago, Ninja Bread Man.
Yes. You know when someone
should
was
have been
like,
all of our bands in high school.
Yes, Ninja Bread Man.
You know when they thought that they fucking had high fives for a week
Yes.
around that office. Oh, we got it! We got a franchise, bitches! Oh,
That was a part of the series that was the 4 games.
It's 4 identical games: Billy the Wizard, Anubis 2.
Wait, Billy the Wizard was one of those?
Yeah, and Rock and Roll Adventures.
Billy the Wizard.
Billy the Wizard.
I only remember that one because I made fun of it like 2 years ago for the box art.
Yeah, and it's terrible. And all those games, I actually played 3 of them to confirm they were the same game.
Wow.
You'd think I would stop at 2, but 3 makes
Most rational people would.
3 makes a pattern.
I looked up the clips of this game, and it's just hilarious YouTube. I was going to give the game credit, because what did we bring up last week? Awesome Possum, who makes noises whenever he does something.
Yes.
Ninja Bread Man does 2,
Yeah,
but he makes 1. And I thought, I flipped to the middle of the video, I thought this was like a great remix. It's just him doing his only attack. I thought.
Oh, the music, which you can kind of hear in the background, is awful.
I actually thought it was pretty good.
No.
I thought. Okay.
You're wrong, Chris.
Okay.
Your opinion is wrong.
It's
The
a,
best-
It's a fucking keyboard being thrown down the stairs.
What I recommend is for anybody to look up a YouTube video of the game being beaten. You get your last level. You get to this last teleporter. Oh, you made it! You finished the level. Click continue. Continue. Back to main menu.
Level 1.
Back to the main menu.
Wow, it is just like
That's worse than the ending of Karateka.
That reminds me that it doesn't remind me.
Metal Loss.
It makes me think of a lot of people. These new developers are treating Wii like it literally is a bunch of people's first system ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the same mindset that they were when they were making NES games or Atari games. When the game ends, it's just over. Player didn't want an ending. Player didn't want a resolution. Player just wanted to play the game to beat
We
it.
did the research, and the game doesn't need to stick with you as long as they've paid for the game in full.
$20 is a reasonable amount to not give a shit.
It's sort of like the Wii has set the video game industry back about 20 years, but in a bad way.
Yeah.
Reset the clock, and everybody's like, we've forgotten everything we learned from the last 30 years of making games.
Here's a bunch of games on a system that's more powerful than a GameCube that all look worse than a PS2.
Yeah.
Play most
White,
of them on your computer. Flashful.
if you need any more proof, White Van Racing is there for you. But I don't want to bash the Wii anymore. Alfred Chicken. Again,
Number 4. on
number
the-
4, top
Ga-
7, what is it?
Games where you... let me see if I can do this. Games where you play as food. Number
Really,
4,
food?
Number 4 is Alfred Chicken.
Food, really?
Alfred
Really?
Chicken.
Alfred
Alright.
Chicken?
All right.
Chicken.
Hello, Master Wine. I'm a chicken.
So many diverse...
You ate it first.
I'm so envious of having so many accents. Like in such a small space. Like in the U.S.,
True.
you don't get that many diverse accents in the
You
same...
do.
I'm not saying there aren't accents.
But
I'm saying...
we're talking about,
I-
like, accents specific to neighborhoods
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
are next to each other.
Anyway, number 4 is Alfred Chicken, which
Is a game.
I didn't...
Even Brett, Captain Genesis NES, I have no... He was like, I don't care about this. I played it.
I played the Super Nintendo one once and was like, this is Krusty Super Funhouse. You guys tried to trick me.
It's got
Oh,
present-
interesting factoid about this game.
Go for it.
I wrote a review of this game on GameFAQs.
Is it still there?
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I'm sure it's still there. Let's see if I can find it.
Okay. In the meantime, anybody else have any Alfred Chicken memories? Okay, the UK. The UK
I
has
was
a
really
lot.
In
Apparently,
fact, I would go so far as to say that all of my memories have been destroyed by looking at Alfred Chicken.
I would go. I think we were going to say. I go as far as say
I was-
all my memories are Alfred
Yep,
Chicken.
there it
based.
is.
I don't remember how to
Who are
eat.
you?
How to
Perch.
breathe. I'm gonna die.
I wrote this review super ass long ago. I gave it a 7. I remember being...
Find a pull quote.
Originally posted 6/24/02. Controls were dead on. Every time I died, it wasn't the game's fault. It was mine. Very responsive. The down thrust move is a little awkward to use, though. You can't immediately. You have to jump, then wait, then use it. Blah!
Where's Keyboard Cat?
As a promotional stunt, product manager Carl Fitzhugh
I
entered
was
the
gonna read
1993 Christchurch by-election as a representative of the Alfred Chicken Party, and rather
Yes.
gloriously didn't even come last.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
He ran as a publicity stunt. He ran for office.
Alfred Chicken did?
The product manager of Alfred Chicken. Only the Amiga version of Alfred Chicken.
Shit!
Never mind, it was multi-platform. So multi-platform, America didn't even know there was an Alfred Chicken on PS1,
Yeah.
UK only, and I was actually absolutely baffled like that. I can't believe this is probably the most anybody is going to talk about Alfred Chicken.
Ever.
So we should probably move on.
It was one of those games that when I found it, I found it for like $8 and was like, wow, I want to like this. I wanted it to be one of those weird things I find and end up really liking, like Turbo Turtle Adventures for Game Boy Advance. Holy shit. Really good.
He's totally in the pocket of Turbo Turtle.
Turbo Turtle. I'll do anything you want. Alfred Chicken was okay. It's alright.
There was that phase, the post-Sonic, where anything with,
Yes.
with a wide-eyed
Yes.
anthropomorphic animal, I was
I
was slightly interested in.
I actually called it in that GameFAQs review I wrote in 2002. I called it the Massive Mammal Mascot Inundation.
Ooh, wow, you were behind the times, but still a little ahead.
A little of both.
Yeah, you were right in the times.
I was just right.
That's quintessential 2002.
Yeah. Number 3.
Number 3 in the
Is-
top 7 games where you play as food. Tofu.
Why couldn't number 1 have been a $5 footlong?
Yombred Elston. But
Resident Evil 2 character is Tofu, which I had somehow never heard of until today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Dude, I didn't play 2
Even
because
I've heard of Tofu and I've never actually seen him in action.
I hated 1 so much I didn't play anything till Resident Evil 4.
Give me a little bit of
But
tofu.
2 was
Shane.
so good.
Yeah, 2 is amazing.
Yeah.
There's 2
So much better than
hidden
1.
characters you can unlock. One is Hunk, one is Tofu, and they have their own separate campaigns. And Tofu is just it's just this white rectangle-ish blob that was actually the collision detection thing used to test for us.
So, am I to believe he is a killer piece of tofu?
He's got
Yes!
a gun.
Thank you. Have the music to play. I appreciate that. Are you eat my sugar secret? I'm so bored by Resident Evil 2. I can't even look at the game now.
Well, they did just announce this today, Resident Evil Archives, the Wii remake of the
Resident
GameCube
Evil.
remake
Yes.
of the PlayStation game.
Which is
That
kind
wasn't
of awesome.
even a remake.
Them basically re-releasing the GameCube remake
Yes.
on Wii.
Yes.
Okay.
They ported the
But
remake.
not the GameCube versions of 2 and 3, which were
No,
just
no,
the game, again, released at full price.
yeah, no, not those. Those are probably coming.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be downloadable as soon as they figure it out. Moving on to one I know is near and dear to Brett Elston.
So wait, did Tofu have a story?
No, he just had like a small,
A quick thing.
I think it was just a look at what we can do goof about for all you guys who are going to play this game over and over again and not move on
Yeah.
to
A thing.
I don't want to knock Resident Evil that much.
Number 2 is
Number 2.
Kid Icarus, the eggplant pit. When the eggplant wizard turns you into an eggplant with Kid Icarus legs.
I have a clip of that.
Don't shoot! I've got a wife and 2 baby eggplants at home.
That was.
Ugh.
I gotta stop falling
you,
back on that
Captain
for voice. Yeah, when I have no voice or audio for an entry, I keep going to these old cartoons. Maybe this one's gonna be better.
Now I'll get them with my peanut butter blasters, and there'll be peanut butter and jam.
Those are all audio from the TV show.
Was Captain N, right?
Yeah, Captain N.
That does not sound good or wholesome.
I remember when that show came out, and even as the audience, I was being directly marketed at.
Yes.
I was being marketed at, not to.
Oh, I'm Simon Belmont.
And literally none of the characters looked anything like they do in the games.
Wait a minute, are you sure? Eggplant! King Apple!
King Hippo's blue with big nipples.
Oh, man! I'm gonna get that Captain N. Feed me.
Hey,
Same voice, by the way. Audrey 2
Yep.
from
Is it really
Little
the
Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Yes, the guy from the Four Tops does Mother Brain.
Levi Stubbs?
Yeah, that is absolutely it.
Wow, I thought it was just a guy. Hey, I can do that for $5.
Hey, I sound like your bus driver. That's my bus driver.
Move it on back to the back.
Where are you,
Little Chris, get up here.
You best quit playing around that seat, boy. I'll turn this bus around, bite you up in attention. Have me up here washing my feet while I drive, boy. Quit messing around on my bus.
Wow.
I love you,
So-
Miss Shabazz.
Why do you hate your bus driver?
I don't. I love her. She let me get away with fucking murder on the way home.
Someone threw my face one time was smashed in between a book bag and the window when someone was getting up out of their seat and was just like, I'm going to set my bag in where I was sitting. I'm going to get up. I start going as I'm going to get up too. He puts his bag down, not even looking. Bag hits me in the face, full of textbooks. Moves my head all the way back the seat into the window, smashes my face in between the window and the book bag. Blood explode. And I remember running to the front of the bus and scaring the shit out of a bus. Can you imagine, yes, can you imagine driving a bus? The same shit day in, day out of your life. Stop. Oh my god! And like, all over my hands, down my chin. Oh, my face is broken. All right, that's a great story. Number 1.
Eggplant. Number 1. What is this? This is what I was confused about. Is this? Hold on. I actually should cue my
You need a number.
noise. Number 1. Number 1.
I tried to burp and didn't happen.
Who wants to say it?
Toad.
Toad. Hold on. What's this, Elston?
I'm gonna guess Toad.
Yeah,
From?
Mario Kart.
Hey, Shane. Hold on. Where's my? Yes. Shane.
No whammies.
Because Toad. Would they mean Toad as
I guess. Well, I'm
as
guessing
a frog or a mushroom?
as a mushroom.
mushroom. People are food.
I know that's the fallacy of this this article.
Yeah,
I could be as
My favorite game where you play as food is Contra.
Oh, it took me for a whirl. Toad, how did this happen? I've been pulling so much from cartoons. I didn't want to go get Toad clips from the Mario cartoon because he actually sounds respectable.
Does he?
This is the new Toad from Mario Party 8.
Oh, no!
What does that sound like?
That is fucking Miss Piggy from Muppet Babies.
Not
That's
close.
how he sounded
Close.
like since Mario Kart 64.
Close. It's
Gonzo. That is Gonzo. That's what I meant.
Wow.
all right.
damn.
Which one? All right, just a little tiny quiz. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this again later on. Who is this? That's Miss Piggy.
That's Toad.
That's Toad.
Really?
That is Toad.
I'll tell you how I can tell after. That's Gonzo.
That is Toad. I
No.
apologize.
That's really not.
Do you have any weird information about Toad? Do we know anything about Toad? He's a steward to the throne, or in the princess's stead, he controls the monarchy. No one help me! Who the fuck is Toad?
I
He
don't know.
looks like a guy with a half-deflated
He's
soccer
like
ball
a
in his
royal
head.
retainer with a mushroom for a head.
What's a retainer mean?
Doesn't he
He's a
look
servant.
after the peach? The peach.
The daisy. The toadstool.
All right.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so in summation, as far as the top 7 games where you play as food,
Toad won!
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Mojo Nixon played as Toad in the Mario movie, which we're about to hear more of.
Yes, stay tuned to the next break. You will not hear Mojo Nixon as Toad, but it did happen, and we have very, very brief proof. More movies than that. We got Far Cries and Meatloaves and new releases and Bone Claws already. And, and then we have a whole crapload of Namco nonsense, including an interview with the creative head of Volatile Games, Nick Dixon?
I think so.
Not Dick Nixon, which was very hard not to say. You'll notice at the end of the interview, I paused because I was afraid of how to say his name.
Yeah, we went to a Namco event this week, and we did a quick interview with this guy about the new Dead to Rights game.
You said you wanted more interviews. You got him! It's coming up at 49.
TalkRadar.
So fast your tits will shoot out your back.
Blasted Malamars. My tits are back!
Go to gamesradar.com.
Gordon, I brought you here because it's time you know. They have hidden it so well, but the truth must be told. Did you ever wonder why G-Man's what they call me? Just take the G from your first name and from your last, drop the free. Gordon, drop the free. You must face the truth. There's no use to bother. Gordon, I am your father. When you were so young, just our little son, we gave you my good name and then gave you a gun. You probably don't remember because they wiped your memory clean. But you used to play in the portals and torture aliens with Uncle Green. Aliens with Uncle Green! But that was until that mom of yours grew unconscious and asked for divorce, all because of my interdimensional plans. And that's when I found out about her and Dr. Vance. Next thing I know, they've had a baby. I couldn't have that, so I arranged an invasion, and that's the beauty of it. Father like son, you opened the door, and I brought in the guns. When you're taking revenge, what's a little worldwide slaughter? Gordon, I am your father. I know what you're thinking, Gordon. I can't be your father. I'm too freaking insane. What kind of twisted time bound is 20 years on a train? And that thing about Mom and Dr. Vance, I am your
Two brothers, both plumbers, tried to save a princess by entering another world. Where are we? To get a mystical meteorite with the power to rule the universe. Give me the rock and get it! Super Mario Brothers. This ain't no game. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. It starts Friday, May 28th.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast?
Yeah!
Hi, this is Shane Patterson. You're listening to another podcast.
Speaking of another podcast, next week, Charlie Barrett will be hosting his own podcast. We call it CB Radio. It's so dumb. It's stuck in my head all day. I really want to see CB Radio and just Charlie alone. And talking about Sierra games. New releases. Who loves?
I don't.
Yeah, according to a poll on our website, GameTrader.com/forums, most of you don't love the new releases. Fuck. It's not our fault. We can't help it that new games are coming out, like Banjo-Tooie on Xbox.
Oh,
That's not a new game.
Uh-huh.
Did that come out this week?
It's new to Chris.
I had it on my schedule, but here's the thing.
It did come out this week.
All
right.
that swapping stuff that you were supposed to be
back in.
for is
Stop and swap.
Stop and swap. It exists. It's real. You can do this with your hard drive.
You remember that, kid? Something from 10 years ago. You can do it today.
Yep. If you're under 20 years of age, this will not matter to you in the slightest. Neither will this. Virtual on Xbox Live. I'm excited.
I'm not.
Really? You don't like the Virtual on?
No.
No?
I'm virtually
I could
not
never
excited.
get into that.
It's like ice skating robots to me.
Yeah, exactly. Say it again.
It's like ice skating robots.
See?
To me. About Banjo-Tooie.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes.
Remember how excited we were when we high-fived about Banjo-Kazooie coming out? I don't give any amount of my shit about Banjo-Tooie. And I didn't back then. That's rare, pushing it too far.
Pushing it a little too far.
Too much. Because they did
Much shit.
Banjo, DK64, Banjo-Tooie.
You hear that, Rare? Cut the crap.
Too many...
Or it's ring-a-ding-ding for you bozos.
Yes. I didn't work at a website 10 years ago. Telling you now.
I do love Viva Pinata. What else we got?
Remake
Viva
Conca
Pinata,
again.
we got Virtual on, we got Velvet Assassin on 360 and PC apparently. I haven't seen any reviews.
Was it you who was really interested in that because like the whole morphine thing?
It wasn't
Who was
the
it
it
that wrote
wasn't
about
the it wasn't the morphine thing. I just thought it was an interesting mechanic that the entire game is a flashback you have in a hospital bed. And if you're in trouble or you're in too much danger, you can hit the morphine drip to keep yourself from dying
Oh, right.
and delude your own memories. And then you can also OD on it if you're hitting the morphine drip too much.
Interesting.
Kind of cool. And then once you do that, it like everything turns like this really yellow, liquidy pea color, and blood cells float around.
Just like morphine.
Love
Blood
them.
cells.
Love
So
the
wait,
morphine.
so Virtualon and Banjo-Tooie are both XBLA games? Like they did.
Virtual On has a subtitle that I just didn't
Yeah,
want
it's
to bother to read.
Oratorio Tangram. It's a
There you
that's
go.
the Dreamcast.
It's
one.
a Dreamcast one. Yeah.
There you go. We also have, I wish I could tease PWWDKJB, but that's next week.
All right.
The Dynasty Warriors Strike Force.
Now I just got one.
Thank you, Shane. Yes, decipher that in the forums. I dare you. Dynasty Warriors Strike Force for PSP.
Strike Force?
Yeah, hey, wait. We have to remember that
Are they a
Dynasty
SWAT
Warriors
team now?
Dynasty Strike
What the
Force.
fuck?
Not on my team. Hey, you just messed with the Dynasty Warriors.
You're not playing by the rules. Mayor's all over my
You're
ass.
off the force.
You don't play ball. We're coming in blazing.
There's 50 samurai to take you down.
There's only 2 reviews on Metacritic. One says quotation forthcoming.
It's my favorite from everyi.it, and I really struggled to figure out what URL suffix that is. I think it's Italy,
Yeah.
but then why would they have every I? Doesn't matter.
I just like that the GamePro review that's on here is the other one is basically it's the kind of snippet that we would always make fun of because it's a still comma but it's kind of the only review you can write about Dynasty Warriors at this point. If you like this,
who did that article on how many Dynasty Warriors games there are?
I did a
pre Gundam.
I did a top 7 who's buying this crap.
Yeah.
Like over a year ago.
And Dynasty Warriors had how many games in this many amount of years?
I think it was 13.
Like 13. So it's clearly people are buying it, and you can't trash it outright.
I can look.
It's one of those things. It's like TDar. It's like we don't have any interest in all the various iterations, but someone's obviously buying.
Yeah, I mean
Somebody's
that's the
obviously
thing.
buying
Well,
it.
that they got to cost like nothing to make it this point. They don't look any better.
I guess
like generation to generation they do, but
I can only imagine it's like a film reviewer trying to review High School Musical. Like, this is
They're back at it.
This is apparently huge, and if I trash this, I sound irrelevant.
As of that article posted, top 7 who's buying this crap posted April 23rd, 2007. Wow, literally 2 years ago.
Oh,
dope.
14 games in the series at that point, and the average Metacritic score was 6.6. Just saying.
So I mean, since the series has been breeding in those 2 years, I'm guessing it's like exponentially reached.
Oh yeah,
730.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
games.
probably. I wouldn't be surprised if it's double that.
Well, I guess the big release of the week goes along with the film that's getting fantastic buzz because most of the internet's already seen it. Wolverine or X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Have you seen like the kid targeted trailer for that movie?
No.
It makes it look awful.
Really?
Like a really bad slapstick comedy.
I hear.
the movie's
Shane, you have not seen the movie yet.
I've seen a screening of it in the city.
I guess that counts.
In the San Francisco.
I
could probably give a direct address.
At the Metreon.
At the Metreon.
They are showing them, I think, starting tonight anyway.
Starting tonight, when you're hearing this. That's when Shane saw it.
Yep.
And your diagnosis on the movie.
Do you like Wolverine or Deadpool? If you do, then you won't like the movie.
Well, that's so strange because Hugh Jackman did such a good job as Wolverine in the first 2.
He did, playing the character, but when you make a movie, Brett, you gotta have good writing and good directing.
Right.
This movie reeks of contractual obligation.
Yes.
But he wasn't obligated to this.
No, he was probably offered a giant sum to appear in X-Men 3 under the terms he'd get his own movie under his own production company.
Because he produced
which may have happened, but also what he got out of that is a lucrative game deal, which I have a feeling this is going to be another one of those rare those Chronicles of Riddick instances that the game is going to do better critically than the movie.
I can already comment on that the game is surprisingly good.
Really?
Yeah, it's by Raven Software, so that's a good sign right there. Those people just fucking own Dismemberment.
What else did Raven Software
give me some other
facts.
They
did Soldier of Fortune. They did the PC version of Jedi Knight 2.
Yeah.
Which also featured lightsaber dismemberment.
That's right. One of the only games to do that.
Was that the Jedi Outcast?
Heretic. Yes, it was.
So the big hook of the game is that it's an M-rated game for a PG-13 movie. And
yes,
super violent.
Crazy.
Back when they were going to fly one of you guys out here, we weren't allowed to say.
Yeah.
Well, the cat's out of the bag.
Whatever. I will talk more about that later. But
yeah, I am reviewing Wolverine in next month's PTOM, or PlayStation The Official Magazine. I can't say what the score is, but I can say I was very impressed by the game.
Everybody I've talked to is like, this is exactly what I've wanted from a Wolverine game since the beginning.
Basically, it's God of War with claws, and you just wade in and rip the shit out of guys. And I especially like he has a claw drill move where he just does this flying spinning torpedo, and it just completely shreds opponents. Like limbs just fly all over the place.
Awesome. So I heard disappearing limbs, courtesy of Wolverine. It happened I don't know. It's been a long time since I was a little boy, and I fantasized of what Wolverine I could do as Wolverine.
Yeah.
It seems like the game delivers on that.
It seems like the first game. I mean, I haven't played it. I haven't even actually seen anyone be playing it. But based off Michael's description and the buzz around the game, it's just and all the previews that have been written. It's just it's the first game that bothered to make Wolverine's powers matter.
Yes.
Because like X2 the X2 game that came out for GameCube, PS2, Xbox, it like kind of dabbled in like his animal senses, and he has claws, but you're probably not really cutting people up.
No, they were knives he punched with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, he's got indestructible fucking
indestructible claws that can cut through anything.
That would shred through people with no effort. And he already is fucking ripped as hell, so he should have no problem just destroy. And the comics always portray him a little less now. They try to lately they're trying to. He doesn't kill at random, and he doesn't smoke anymore. But back in the 70s and 80s, Wolverine did not fuck around, and it's kind of cool to see that happening in a game.
Also good to see a scene where Liv Schreiber stomps on Wolverine's bone claws and snaps them right off.
Bone claws aren't ready.
That may happen in the movie as well, but I don't know.
Oh, okay. Does Deadpool appear in the game?
Yes, he does.
Ooh. Is he voiced by Double R?
I don't think he's actually voiced.
Really?
Like he shows up very briefly.
Is he in his comic costume, or is he as
No. He shows up, I think, twice in the game. He shows up once in a cutscene where you see him like when he was in Team X before he got his costume and stuff. Anything very wrong with him?
Bag off, Michael. I'm going to see this movie tonight on this night of nights.
Okay. We're gonna have a big night out. Probably make fun of the movie afterwards while we imbibe lots of seltzer water.
Might be crying a lot.
I can't tell you how.
I can't believe we spent all that money to watch it.
It was
oh my god! I can't stop.
Luckily, Shane Patterson, to tie it all together this week, he wrote a feature on the many looks of Wolverine throughout all of gamedom.
Yes, as Brett calls it, the many feces of Wolverine.
Many feces of Wolverine.
Yes, he does. He does have animal senses, so it stands to reason he would eat a lot of garbage.
Oh,
the animal senses are represented in the game.
Good.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So go look at it, read it. There's lots of cool pictures, and there's a really cool chart that one of our art people, Cheryl, made up really quick. It's pretty awesome.
But on Shane's journey, he's looking through all these old. What's the first instance of Wolverine? Is it the NES, LGN?
The Marvel's X-Men for the NES.
Probably one of the worst games I've ever begged for.
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh, man, I love this story. Tell it. Bam.
No, my friend, I can't even believe I had a friend by this name. My friend Earl got the X-Men game, and I'm like, oh man, you got the X-Men game? That's amazing! I can't wait for you to tell me what it's like. And the next time we hung out was my birthday, and he gave me his copy of X-Men, and I was like almost in tears. I can't believe he did this.
And he's like, take it far away from me.
I popped it in. I'm like, wow, you didn't give me shit.
I remember renting it and just seeing the cover, which is really cool. They're like all running right out at you. The
Wolverine NES cover is also amazing. Again, check Shane's article.
Yeah.
Great covers.
It's in there. All the covers.
Yeah.
Check them out.
The NES just Wolverine game that he's in is so fucking hard. However, music by Tim Fallon,
it's funny you brought that up, Red Elson, because Shane's like, God damn it, this reeks of old Genesis music. That doesn't sound like you're enduring music, but being electrocuted.
Is this Genesis X-Men?
It is indeed. Here it is. A little bit of this. Everybody, make sure you're wearing rubber.
I remember.
Genesis exclusive X-Men coming at you, ready to rip your fucking head off with a buzzsaw.
The thing is, I used to listen to that at maximum volume on my TV.
I did too.
I was like, this is fucking X-Men, man! Because that game wasn't bad.
But my job requires researching video games, and Genesis music, Jesus Christ.
90% of it aged horribly.
Gee, I don't know what that... No.
And nothing can be as bad as Sonic Spinball option screen that I played for you.
I thought Sonic Spinball was the exception, and it turns out it's just the rule.
It's the rule.
It's what everything sounds like.
No, most Genesis music is awful. That's why the games that stand out, you listen to Sonic and you're like, what the hell did people... They really knew what they were doing. They used the sound properly, but then you listen to shit like that, and they're just
Somebody at Sega dropped their Casio down the stairs, and like half of the plugins and
It really sounds like Trent Reznor is being dunked Rush style into a water tank. Stupid. But luckily, Brett Elston was here to redeem Gamedom.
I was?
Yes, with your article on the, underrated soundtracks?
Yes, the 17 underrated 17 game soundtracks that were ahead of their time.
Ahead of their time.
That was the point. Like, a lot of the comments are like, well, you know what else is good? I don't care. Like, I know what's good and like I've been a part of that scene as long as that scene has been around. Like, it wasn't game music that's good. It's music that was better than everything else at the time. Like, technologically better.
Was there anyone saying, you forgot this?
I'm sure there was, but it's always like, I didn't forget, dude. I got 18 gigs of this shit. I didn't forget. I just chose not to put it in there.
I've never actually seen people's names attributed to this music. I don't know where you dug it up, because it's not Wikipedia.
Some of it isn't by this point, but a lot of these people have their own sites, these composers. And it's weird saying the composer of this Commodore 64 game.
Yes.
But no, these people are really good. And
so don't give away a certain Marvel one, because I'm saving that for next week.
Oh, dude. Oh. Yeah. The article is called 17 Game Soundtracks Ahead of Their Time. Embedded players, you can listen to the music right there.
I should compliment you on that. The presentation is lovely. Go there, you can click on anything, it just plays immediately.
It's like the exact opposite of the cheesiest game songs, which was really good podcast fodder. This isn't because they're good. So, or at least interesting or something.
We're not going to play you that many.
Yeah,
there were two you sent me that you thought
one of them
sold the idea very well.
Because Castlevania 3, and this isn't a huge difference, but it's enough to note it's easier to do in a podcast.
We talked about this, and I've never actually heard the difference. So.
Castlevania 3 in Japan Konami made a special chip on the cartridge, enhanced the NES's sound capabilities. It had more channels. It could do a little bit more higher quality music, basically. Chip did not make it to the U.S., and a lot of purists get really pissy about the music sucks. It doesn't suck. Castlevania 3's music has just rung through the fucking hallways of game music on, like, most of those. All the mini-bosses, they have a Castlevania 3 9-minute medley. Like, it's very popular music, but the Japanese one, you can tell a difference very clearly, so it's
mid-fidelity.
Yes. It's just kind of like, it's interesting only to think of this came out of an NES. It's not like it sounds really impressive, especially today. It's just, if you heard this in 1990, wow, this is coming out of my speakers, but instead that chip didn't come to the
So which one do you want to play first? The one America saw or the one Japan?
The American one.
Got it.
Very popular. So give it a second.
Yeah.
Whip! Heart! Candle! Holy water!
Zombie.
Skeleton!
Okay, alright. Death!
We all know that. I know that one. That's very clear to me.
That's very popular Castlevania song. First time it appeared.
Dracula's Curse.
And this is the Japanese version of the same song on the NES.
Wow.
Slightly better.
It's a little lo-fi, but there's a lot.
There's more layer. There's
polyphonic.
There's two extra. I think there's two extra channels.
The triphonic.
Well, to be fair, the game also had a lot of additional animations that were removed for the NES one as well. Like the clock tower, the gears move, but in the NES they're still, except for the ones that you actually have to.
So the chip didn't just boost
the
audio.
I'm still a little unclear because I read all this.
It's all right. It's all right. You know what that means to me? You got another feature on your hands.
Sure.
And
but yeah, basically that was it.
Top 7 times Japanese people assumed the U.S. market wasn't worth it.
No, it's.
I have actually 6 features that fall under that giant umbrella coming up in the next week.
All right, so that's really all. The rest of it, though, is just really good to check out if you're interested at all in just music, game music. Because the point I brought up at the beginning is this is a form of music that we have all been able to witness in our lifetimes.
But what music solidifies your point?
But the other two tracks I gave you were...
You wanted to highlight what this was about.
I wanted to highlight, too.
Chose these 2 tracks.
Like, this is from 1985, and I didn't know that this even existed, and then I found it.
Never heard of it.
It's One Man and His Droid.
Is it Star Wars affiliated at all?
No. It's a Commodore 64 game that is... I don't know. It's just the fact that this is still pre-NES music, and think of, like, the music we associate, Mario, Zelda... Those themes are really iconic, but they're super simple. There's like 2 tracks. There's like the main tune and a underneath it, and that's it. And then this one, listen to what this guy was doing before the NES was even released.
Wow.
I mean, it sounds rough.
What system was that for?
It's Commodore 64.
Yeah,
but
good.
C64 is known for, it's called SID or SID. It's like the way you could make music, and it's really robust. Like, they didn't really use it very well at all, and then they figured out, holy shit, we can make actual music.
Mm-hmm.
And this is still before... I mean, obviously, it sounds just like fucking noise to a lot of people. I understand that, but it's conceptually, like, that's so far ahead of what everyone else was doing on NES. Granted, they took the time to make an iconic theme. Like, when you hear Zelda or Metroid, you go, that's Zelda or Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
They focused on the tune, but this was just like a guy, I'm going to write a 9-minute track that's going to keep building on itself.
I'm not even sure Metroid is great, except that I spent a lot of time with it.
Yeah, it's just that they've added to it so much over the years, you just assume it's really good.
Yeah.
The other one, though, is Sonic.
The other one I want to hear you explain, because this isn't very... This is kind of recent.
No, it's recent because it's ahead of its time because this is 2005 and it's Sonic Rush.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, the first year of DS games was not very good. The first year of DS... God damn, I hate when people name one game in a 12-month period. Canvas Curse. You're right. What a great game that one game was. Just system justified. The first year was bad. Canvas Curse was good, and we had Castlevania and Advance Wars had great music, but that's expected. Both of those series are known for good music, and so is Sonic. But Sonic Rush specifically, it's the composer of Jet Set Radio. So the music for a DS game within the first year of the system being out, it's very Go Team, very just super happy hip-hop dance music, and it was really unique at the time, and that's why I felt it really needed to be on this list.
I gotta hear this shit. Yeah.
At the beach, dancing with the blankets,
hanging 10 with my best girl. That doesn't make sense.
But
onesies. Do I have time to fart in the microphone?
Yes.
Let's see if this picks up.
Do it.
Wow.
Oh my god. People listening, he really farted.
I would call that mission accomplished.
I would call that robust.
It had a wonderful perfume to it.
It was beefy.
Are you guys tasting this bouquet? Rules.
Waft it.
I find it delicious.
It rules.
But yeah, that's a case of just...
Oh, and that was not a slam on Sonic's music.
No. But yeah, I just love how that music is there's like a really defined bass line in it. I don't know, it sounds like...
Layered, baby.
It's just really... I don't know.
Layered.
It's hard to articulate just off the top of my head while I've imbibed a lot of sugar water.
While we're filleting our own backs. Hold on. Brett Elston, I appreciated your feature. I like game music.
I wish my music vocabulary...
Game music... yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where I'm just like...
What's the difference between a melody and a rhythm? I don't fucking know.
Well, like, I know a lot of the terms. Like, I know square wave, triangle wave. Like, I know all these fucking terms for game music, but I'm like, I don't know if I'm using them properly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to... I want to look like I know what I'm talking about, because I do, but
Rest assured, Elston knows his shit. I can cue anything, almost anything I can think of, and you'll usually get. And while we're dipping back into the well, Mickey Raparez dipped into a strange genre that I think he probably is the internet's foremost expert on. And that's no compliment. What was the feature called? 16 Most Awesomely Bad
Video game movie moments.
Video game movie moments.
I had to watch all of these things.
All of them. How many were them? How many movies altogether?
I didn't include the Tomb Raider movies or
they're
Resident Evil Extinction, although I did watch them.
They're acceptably terrible. I hate the Tomb Raider because they're fucking... It's the loudest movie I've ever fallen asleep in. It's fucking boring, which I think is worse than being bad.
The weird thing about Tomb Raider is that shit actually makes less sense in context than it does out of context. Like, if I'd pulled any clip from that out and shown it out of context, it would have just been like, what? That's just an action sequence. But when you know what's going on in the movie and what the characters' motivations are, you watch it and you're like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
God damn it! You pulled a lot of screenshots.
Yeah.
That are all goofy to hysterical. Dungeon Siege being my favorite. We played a clip from it last time. Wow, 30 podcasts ago.
TalkRadar 20.
TalkRadar 20, a fan favorite. We shall accelerate. Ray Liotta things. And this is a scene. Set up a scene a little bit for me.
Well, this is another of the great meetings of the minds that are Matthew Lillard and Ray Liotta. Is that Matthew Lillard's character is trying to usurp Burt Reynolds as king, and so he's trying to suck up to him, so he goes and eats with him. And then he finds out that Ray Liotta has poisoned Burt Reynolds' food, which he ate some of. And so he basically rolls around on the floor, begging and whining.
Oh, I have that.
Poison me! You've killed me!
Don't be so melodramatic.
Dude, that's sound
It's like
career
straight out of
advice.
Scream.
Sound career advice that Lillard ignores. And bear in mind, while he's doing this, he's like stretching his mouth out into a frown that is like more than I think most humans can do.
Yeah, he looks like Roger Rabbit drinking alcohol.
He does.
He does that in every movie.
I know.
Yeah.
Can he not emote like a normal human?
I think I'm dying here, Billy.
Unhinges his jaw and like tries to attach the sides of his mouth to his chin, just so you know he's really acting. The speech.
Hey,
Trying really hard, guys.
When Matthew Lillard feels, he feels deep.
He feels wide.
Speaking of great actors, we got Far Cry on here.
Ah, yes.
Who is this fat dude, Uwe Boll, who you tastefully captured eating a giant sandwich?
That's Chris Coppola.
Chris What? Is he related?
Possibly. I don't know. He's been in a bunch of Uwe Boll movies. He was in Blood Rain 2.
He was assigned to write stories about the West.
Yes.
He was the unfunny fat reporter in Blood Rain 2. He was the unfunny fat sidekick to Dave Foley in Postal.
Oh my god.
And here he's the unfunny fat sidekick to Till Schweiger, who is playing the very German Jack
Till
Carver.
Schweiger?
Till Schweiger!
Are you like yeah. Here, let me play the clip.
Okay.
What shall I do with him, sir?
Maybe you just kill him.
What? No. You don't want to kill me? Come on, I'll be your personal valet. I can help you in many ways. I'm the food guy. Oh, no. God damn it.
What is going on?
How many no's was that?
No. Oh, God damn it. Schmeigel, lady. Flagging. Ooh, do you want an adventure? Yay, food.
So what's going on in the scene?
They're tied up together, and
it's a normal.
You're gonna. That's why Michael is here, because I have no idea.
Okay, the Chris Coppola's Emilio, the food guy. He is just part of the crew that delivers food to the island.
Because he's
the caterer.
Because he's fat.
He's also fat.
Exactly. And while he's sitting in the boat alone, pulling out a meatball sub and saying, "I've been thinking about you all day, all
with
day."
the names and the cheeses
There's 4 types of meat on this sandwich.
Oh, my tummy, it craves.
While he's doing that, Till Schweiger sneaks up on him and touches him on the shoulder, and that makes him choke, and he has to give him the Heimlich maneuver, and it's really gay.
I love the abdominal thrusts. You can't say the Heimlich.
There's about 70 scenes of like way drawn out of them somehow physically involved with one another in a near naked wrestle.
And that,
I love that
that's comedy, Chris.
There was seemingly an hour of footage that I didn't include from that writhing around in handcuffs thing, where it's like they keep falling over and rolling around, and keeps saying it's like, okay, up like dance camp, up just like dance camp, up like dance camp.
Now I have 2 left feet.
Just whatever. Chris Coppola, this is your legacy.
I'm the food guy. Oh no! God damn it!
Love it.
And also, he's going to be killed by villain Udo Kier, which is why he's.
Spoiler! God!
Nobody cares!
It's not out in America yet!
You ruined my Netflix
Nobody's going to watch it when it is.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I didn't steal it.
What was the thing you said? The fact that the guy in Far Cry is cast as a German.
Til Schweiger.
Yeah.
Cast Til Schweiger, because Til Schweiger is from Deutschland.
That's the only thing I can think of, is like, why else would they make... Of the very Germanly named Jack Carver, I can't figure out another reason to cast Jack Carver as a German unless, like, well, I really wanted to give Til Schweiger his role, and I think it's really appropriate for him. And that's
I
German
wanted
accent
to
I've
pay him
ever
his
done.
due in
this-
Jewish tooth gold.
Yeah, this is
I think he pronounces it. He pronounces it Tuskol.
Tooth gold. Speaking of speaking of the Holocaust,
Uh-huh.
meatloaf. Meatloaf.
Meatloaf, the man, not the dish.
Is a vampire.
In
is
what?
quite a dish.
In Blood Rain.
In Blood Rain. I have Oscar clip here.
Okay.
Do it.
Kagan. Ooh, Kagan.
Auto parts?
The mightiest of all vampires.
God, get over it.
What we can't show you, not even in the video clip, because of our
that
site
sucks.
policies, is that while he's saying that, he's like dipping his finger in wine and then tracing it around the nipple of a Czech prostitute who's lying naked next to
It is yet another version of like a fanboy's dream of what an orgy is.
Mhm.
It's just me touching
every girl.
Is that really what you do in an orgy? Are you that devoid
You
of
just sort of lie back and let
sexual
them
inspiration?
sort of writhe nakedly around you.
You know what women do when they're naked in an orgy? They just kind of like lightly touch one another and sway back and forth like they're in Blue Stinger.
Oh, Pee-wee!
This is Blood Rain 2?
No, this is
On the
Blood
move.
Rain 1.
Really? 1?
The original
The
Blood
superior Blood Rain.
Which isn't saying much.
And,
This is post Meatloaf and Fight Club.
Yes. And post Meatloaf and Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
Speaking of horror picture show, I don't think this deserves context, but it wouldn't be 16 most awesomely bad video game movie moments if not for the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I'm too repulsed by it to play more than this clip.
Monkey.
You know what's great?
See the article.
I was in the capture room, the video capture room, when Lizzie was editing this clip.
God, she's so young. I bet it hurt her.
No, here's what happened. She was silently going through all the clips, editing them, and I was grabbing screens of something. Finally, she goes.
Probably wasn't Punch Out.
No, it wasn't Punch Out. That's for sure. Finally, she goes. There was a Super Mario Brothers movie. She had no idea, and then she watches.
She is 15.
She watched.
Yeah.
She watches the clip, and then I'm like, yeah, I know, it's so funny. Dennis Hopper, Koopa, and she's like, wait, that's King Koopa? Like literally discovered the horror as I was telling her. No, those are Goombas. That's King Koopa. That's Mario. Why are they destroying the Trade Center? like nothing made sense, and I'm like,
oh, I'm so glad you got an image of that. Them destroying the World Trade Center in the most 1991 way possible.
Just fading it into nothing.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so that's
and Max Headroom hit the.
Meanwhile, the rest of us, we all read about that shit in Nintendo Power, and we're like, "What the fuck is this?" Like as
It
9-year-olds.
was so stupid exciting.
I dragged my mom to see
I
that
know,
movie.
so did I.
When I was working on my magazine, the Summer Movie Games, and writing about it, I reminded her of it, and she was like, "Oh God, that movie!" She remembered.
Here's every Mario game
So
from
bad.
the N64 down. I know every single detail of.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the plot is about, what happens
Yeah,
in Mario Brothers movie.
It was just weird for a movie that it's just one of those bizarre things where you're advertising to a very specific audience, and you change everything.
Yeah.
Of course, a 10-year-old is going to go, "That wasn't Mario at all."
That
had nothing to do
I
with
actually
anything.
sat back for a second, like, wait a second. And I know this is the way it is, but they didn't care once we paid to see the movie.
No, they didn't.
They didn't care at all. And like, there's that. We were just reading the trivia, like Leguizamo and Hoskins were like, "This is fucking terrible." Like, while on the set, and would drink to like just alleviate boredom and
Apparently,
anxiety.
the script was being rewritten on a daily basis, and it just got to the point where the actors started ignoring the rewrites.
Yeah, and they would just drink to dull the pain. Got drunk, and I think John Leguizamo hurt somebody as a result.
Oh, I think he broke one of Bob Hoskins'
Yes.
fingers by slamming it in a van door. And Bob Hoskins is actually wearing a cast, I think, on his left hand. And on one of his hands, it's like either it's always off screen or he's wearing a glove.
What I love about that is because it's completely implausible for Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo not only to get along, but to be brothers.
Yes,
that's
to be
that
brothers.
story. Like, I can totally see that. Them both. I love the idea of John Hoskins, John
Hoskins,
John Leguizamo,
John Hodgman,
and John Leguizamo and Eddie Valiant just sitting in the back of a trailer, like, God damn it, mate! No, I know. Glug. And I'm going to burn these real quick, but because they're definitely more visual. Michael definitely covered Max Payne. And we also have one of the greatest Mexican standoffs with swords from Hitman.
That is a...
Man, that sounds great.
Terrible.
That's just a really enthusiastic toast. That's a toast at a rave.
Time to get moving.
We shall accelerate.
That's the thing. It feels like he's cutting himself off when he says it's like, you want to accelerate things? Fine. And we shall accelerate.
God, I love
things.
It's weird I have such nostalgia for that phrase because I'm like, man, TalkRadar 20. That's such a good that's such a good podcast.
Really is. By the way, this week, again, nobody's canceled per se, but this is banding the show TalkRadar a little love. I was suggesting and apologizing. TalkRadar, what is our landing site, our archive called?
The Compendinarium.
I apologize for that. It's impossible to find. If it comes up in a Google search, you see this weird word, Compendinarium.
It's the first Google results for Compendinarium.
Oh, well.
No shit. Compendinarium. It's because a word I made up, and somebody should have stopped me.
No, it's good.
Like, so many people haven't seen this page.
Right.
Because it's called the Compendinarium.
It's on the tablets on the side of the site that say see all talk radars. It links to it.
Even if you put in TalkRadar into Google, it is the first or second link.
Right.
Go there, drop a comment. Why don't you show the people we work for that you like what we're doing?
Yes.
Most people never see this. It's just a place where you go and catch up on stuff, but you can also comment there. There's no need to, other than that we're asking you. Our 50th, possibly last podcast approaching.
Next week. May 8th.
May 8th, a year anniversary. Who knows if we'll keep doing this. I'm fucking tired.
I don't think you've slept in 52 weeks.
No! That's why, you know what, for that little diatribe, we're gonna move into some news!
I got nothing.
I have news.
Do you?
I have some news. Speaking of politics, and you know we love doing this, this is seriously one of my favorite stories, possibly of the entire podcast. Norwegian king denies a child his request of having his name changed to Sonic X. There's so many things about this. No. Well, that's...
You'll thank me later, son.
His name, Christer. How do you say that in Norwegian?
I don't know.
I think it's pronounced...
Requested to have his name changed to Sonic X. Not
His
Sonic...
son.
Not Sonic EX, Sonic big capital X.
Sonic
and the king, his parents never got back. He was like, Mom, Dad, didn't you mail my letter? And like, no, okay, it's your birthday. Mail the letter off. The king responds, denies his request, and I love the idea. We saw that Disney cartoon Education for Death. Appealing to your king to change your name seems incredibly weird. Yes, what? Brett Helson, you want to be called what? Brett Belmont. Denied! Does anybody else have any requests for your king?
Just scribbling that with a flourish with a giant plume pen.
Damn it, I actually...
What is this, Sonics?
I actually had, like, king sound. Who has a sound? Who has a name to bring forth to the king, Brett Helston? We'll move on. Michael Raparez, what would you like?
The king is James Mason?
Yes. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yes.
Do you have the gong?
I don't.
God damn it, why don't you get the fucking gong?
We cancel it. Request a name, Shane Patterson, from a video game.
Sounds like fucking Wheezy Door.
Let me have this.
Roxas.
Roxas, the king
Roxas
considers
Raparez.
Roxas for Pars.
Approved. Your name is now Roxas, Shane Patterson. Brett Nelson, would you like to bring forth a name at the knees of the king?
Sir, please, I would love to be known as a meager KK Slider.
KK Slider, the king molds it over with great thought. Yes! You have become KK Slider.
Is the king a wizard as well?
Yes, king of cartoons. Michael Raparez, what would you like your name to be?
I should like to be known henceforth as 47.
47! Timothy Oliphant, considering it. I'm going to need another try. Michael Raparez, give me one more name.
Liu Kang.
That is the absolute best name this king has ever heard. You are now Liu Kang Raparez.
Did you have a scepter and Willem?
I did. I did. Would you like to glide home in a flying pumpkin? There you go.
Shit, my head hurts.
I will now turn your beer portal into a rocket ship.
Now have the king talk to Duke Lombardi.
Duke Lombardi. It is too much, isn't it?
Isn't he Duke Lombardi?
Duke? He's Lord Duke.
Lord Duke the Baron.
Yes, Ombudsman Duke.
Norwegian king, fetch me a dream.
Oh, let's transition. Love those buttons.
Baron Lombardi.
Because I am the king!
The Earl Duke Lombardi of Baron Count.
Of Cheeseville. Henceforth known
as Boner Town.
Cheeseville. Boner Town! You are no longer Minneapolis. Henceforth will be known as Boner Town.
Okay, please. My fucking face hurts.
Dost thou have any more requests for the king?
What was the story about?
The king of Norway is denying children names. Brett Elston.
What a fucking tyrannical fucking
Brett Elston!
That's like the fucking... That's a fairy tale.
I am the king. I must mull over every little detail. Would you like to change the name of your headline?
I will not have pancakes this morning. Denied!
Denied! So says the king. So say we all. God.
I can't breathe.
Damn this royal blood of mine.
Jesus.
Heavy, where's the crown? I get to say that literally.
The heavy is the head that wears the crown, sir.
Yes.
You are no king, sir.
Yes. I am so inbred.
My blood be gasoline.
Okay.
You all will never see the tears I'm wiping off my face right now.
It is time to feed the royal beast. And we must move on to...
Imagine a lion with a crown on it.
I did. He was in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. By the way, the king's favorite movie!
Sir Lion?
Sir Lion of Tiger! I can change the name of anything.
Only found on Betamax.
What power?
The name's of...
The king's ultimate power is to change the name of anything.
Wolverine shall now be known as Catboy. Catboy is... Okay, everybody's tired.
Coming down.
Around my throat.
Shit.
That's the...
I don't have any other news, which is really sad. Well, allegedly, Sony is going to reveal a new PSP at E3.
That's right. If One-Up doesn't beat him to it.
We will... One-Up doesn't describe it in gross detail and then say rumor.
And then say rumor and then edit a couple minutes out of the podcast because it didn't happen.
We got you.
So, yeah, I expect to be disappointed thoroughly at that E3 again. So, Podcast 10 was last year's. Who knows how depressing this year will be.
Well, we're going to try, if we're still around, we're going to try and update.
We'll have more than one podcast that week.
Yeah.
I really want to say what the Mario game might be.
No.
But I can't do it. I can't.
I've wanted to say it the whole podcast, but I...
No, say it's... God damn it, I can't wait to see the box art.
The thing is, no image will do it justice. It's an idea.
It's an idea.
I really just think you have to extend the mouths and eyes of every character.
If you would make the art request for that, I would be very happy.
So, E3, possibly a new PSP.
And then Ubisoft announced Ghost Recon 4.
Ghost Recon. It's not that, but we all went to... Well,
we saw games at Namco.
We all went to Namco and saw a big bunch of games.
Yes.
And as PSP games go, Shane got to get a little up close and personal with Soul Calibur.
Yeah, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny.
Broken Destiny.
It looks really good because I mean it's optimized completely for the PSP, and they're very adamant to say that it wasn't a Soul Calibur 4 remake, but it's built from the ground up. But I mean it looked
really good.
Yeah, it just looks great. And they say it's coming out in the summer, and I was like, why can't I play it?
We were tossing stuff back and forth, and like I wonder how it'll control. I'm like, well, Actually, it's the same button set up on my Dreamcast controller, which that's how I know Soul Calibur.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's not using 2 analog sticks, so that's a game that works really great. And and what gave me immediate faith was Namco did an excellent job with Tekken Dark Resurrection, which I reviewed like 2006. That was a great ass game, and I have no reason to doubt Soul Calibur.
Did you see Katamari? Katamari Forever.
I did see Katamari. You know, it's a remake of like not really a remake. It's an homage.
Either way, but like they said that they kind of got rid of like it's Katamari. It has to look bad.
Yeah, now it looks great. I mean, it's in full 1080p. Like all the levels are redesigned to look that way.
Is it a compilation?
It's like a weird homage / compilation with a few new levels.
God damn it!
They're remade levels from the first
Katamari Damacy Final Mix. Final Mix
version 2.
What else did we see there?
We saw Tekken 6. A few of us did.
Tekken 6, which it's funny at the event they would only let us play as 4 characters: Kazuya, Bob, the girl
Zafina,
who's super hot, and then who's the other person?
Jin
and Kazuya are like the same damn character. And the fact that the game has been in arcades for a year.
More than that, a year and a half.
More
than
than
like
that.
November 07.
The game Tekken 6 has been known for so long. It's just it's weird when companies don't realize they're working in Planet and not. There's nothing outside of this room. Yeah. No one has seen the other characters of Tekken.
Everyone lives in a vacuum.
It's like actually, guys.
Every other fighting game shows restraint and goes once per console generation.
Yeah.
And we gonna do 3 or 4.
Yeah. It's just like it's weird. It looked really. It played just like.
I was like, I haven't played one since 3. I'm winning. Yep. Yeah. I know exactly what to do.
Which on one hand, it's like, yes, I can pick up Street Fighter 4 and play as Ryu. Maybe I haven't played since Ryu since Street Fighter 2, and I'll know his moves. But there's things to 4. There's a lot new, and 6
nuances.
6 just literally looked and animated just like. 4 or 5,
just like the same graphical flourishes whenever you land a strike. The red flare plus some sparks.
It's like it's not a bad game at all.
No,
it's just like if you really like Tekken, here's a prettier version.
Well, it's really Tekken again.
But they were also kind enough to show off another Active Life game and food cooking.
Oh man, I have the best story for
Food Network.
The game. So when I'm waiting around to see Soul Calibur on PSP. I gotta wait like 45 minutes. Hank the motherfucking Tank Gilbert, is already taken off. You two are doing your thing. You're interviewing a dude.
Which you'll hear shortly.
And Eric's doing something, so I'm just drinking. And I'm staring into the middle distance, watching a grown man play the Food Network game.
So I love, you're a grown man.
And he's moving his right arm vigorously, and on screen... He's just peeling 2 virtual potatoes. He's not turning them in any way because they turn by themselves. So he's just moving his arm, and it's like shave, and the potato on screen just keeps moving, diagonally, topwise. Topwise isn't a word.
Right. I hear you talking a little bit of smack. It's the first cooking game I've seen where you actually get to turn the knobs in the stove.
Yeah,
and that's innovation.
But I don't know if you have to turn it a little bit to get the gas going, or if it's electric.
That is true. Waggle to turn to high.
Yeah.
Do I turn a little? To
get the click?
Does the flame move as I move my hand?
I hope it doesn't waggle to exit.
Anyway.
Oh no! So I'm doing that, and then I glance up at the 2 of you who are on the 2nd floor doing the interview. Brett just gives me this huge shit-eating grin, just looking directly at me like, "Hi, I know what you're doing."
While we were interviewing.
Yes, I looked at it because I'm looking around like, where's Shane? Where's Henry? Hey, there's Shane. Wow, he looks bored. Hey.
What else did we see? We saw Dead to Rights.
So Dead to Rights, which we'll probably talk a lot more about in the break. We interviewed a guy.
Yeah, we don't need to talk that. Well, I went back and I made the mistake of going back and playing the first Dead to Rights, which is I didn't unbelievably dated for a 6-year-old game. The new one looks admittedly kind of cool. I think you said it's rough. It's
to me it still looked pretty rough, but the
characters are rough.
It's early.
The environments were pretty, and I really liked the idea of being able to hit multiple. That's Mark of Cree kind of stuff for me.
Yeah, there was close quarters combat with multiple people. Like you could punch in a dude and then Another guy would be running up
Wasn't
to
just
you.
He had a guy in a headlock and was punching a girl with via button presses, not quick time scenes.
Yeah, you're actually doing
like in the direction he wanted. He was punching the girl while holding another guy in a headlock.
It was pretty cool. It just the gunplay looked kind of.
Because I went back and played the PS2 one, and it was just kind of like everybody gets the dying Vector Man explosion of blood,
right?
And it's not. The thing was, they didn't tone that down. It didn't really change. It's a fuck ton of blood.
Yeah. What's weird is there's like point blank shotgun blasts to the face, a lot of blood, but the head is still there.
The thing is, I saw. I can't. I can't confirm this. This is just me speculating. Guys were getting shot in direct areas, and like they were getting shot in the leg. The leg wouldn't disappear, but their bodies reacted like their leg was going away.
Yeah, it was really weird.
So I'm assuming, hopefully, you can shoot limbs off people standing next to you. You hear me, Dead to Rights? Volatile Games, also responsible for Reservoir Dogs, the BAFTA-nominated.
Which
Volatile
Michael
Games.
reviewed. Somewhat terrible, as I recall.
Dead to Rights 1 is, I think, horrendous.
Yeah,
and I am kind of baffled that they'd resurrect this franchise, even though, I was impressed with the demo. The new Shadow stuff, the dog stuff, awesome.
Yeah, the dog is pretty vicious.
Glorious. The dog's huge, and now tears the throats out of people mercilessly.
Nice.
And but the original,
never used them in
the original Dead to Rights. This is just me. The original Dead to Rights. This is fantastic. I'm so glad I did it just for to be a good journalologist. First boss. Augie Blatz, he buys playgrounds and does PR for other criminals. This is what he sounds like.
Hello, Officer Slade. What brings you out on a night like tonight?
Oh my God!
Hey everybody!
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Obviously, that's
You're going
probably
down.
one of the best Christopher Walkens I've ever heard.
You are dead to rights, sir.
I got you red-handed.
You're dead to rights.
You're dead to rights.
We hear a little more Augie Blatz.
You want to join us? $100 ante? Or is that too rich for your cop salary?
What does he do?
You sure that's not actually Christopher Walken?
That's what I want to test you on. Was that Christopher Walken, or is this Christopher Walken?
I'd say, Walt, dreaming will get you killed.
I know
That
that's
is-
Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Doing a fantastic Christopher Walken impression.
from True Crime.
True Crime. Well, who is this then? Christopher Walken or Augie Blatz?
Nobody knows what happened to Henry all those years ago.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Christopher Walken or Augie Blatz?
Christopher Walken. Ow! So goddamn it.
That's Christopher Walken. Yeah, that's what I thought. It is actually Tyler Wilde.
What?
Yeah, I know. After too much SoCo, let's burn some Augie Blatz, shall we?
I want to know why your boys knocked off my father tonight.
Whoa, hey, your old man's dead. I'm all torn up by the news.
Yeah, you.
Take him down.
That really burns
We don't need a second take. That's
wait.
perfect.
You came across a little Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That is
there.
Arnold. That is Arnold.
Take him
Take
down.
him down. The chopper down that fall.
That is fucking Arnold
Walken.
Walken.
Take him down.
God. Last one. This is because this has so much ambient noise in the background.
Help! Someone get this nut job cop off my tail.
Wow.
Is that Woody Allen?
That was me. That was me chasing Augie Blatz or Christopher Walken. I couldn't tell the difference.
Take him down.
God, that's awful.
Take him down.
That's really like
I think
fucking
he meant to say really good.
F level. For fuck.
Anybody who that's going to appeal to, that reference is going to enjoy our next community segment.
Oh man, are they?
We got some WinRARs.
We got winners of contests. We got a new contest for shirts. We got a
you do.
Question of the week.
Question of the week.
Yeah, actually, also before we get into the next week's question of the week, is Tyler Wilde will start running an article on the live site of Games Radar. Each question of the week will not only be in the forums, it will be on the main Games Radar site, and we will start posting your answers on the fucking website.
Yeah.
So don't stop answering in the forums. Keep the thread alive. Like, it's good to have that thread going, but also make sure that you let it be known on the article as well.
Here's a little incentive. We're going to post the answers
on
the main Games Radar page.
Yes,
So
I even said that already.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Hold on. That means that means you're basically
writing the article.
So
Yeah,
if you have an
Games
anecdote,
Radar writer.
if you have an anecdote and a little bit of Photoshop skill, why not make a picture to emphasize your point or your anecdote, and that'll probably, guess what, if it requires less work for Tyler, Brett, me, Michael, or Shane,
this is
probably a good chance you'll get in the article.
This is an entirely us-run ship, so the less work.
This is yet another duty we're going through.
And my friend just messaged me and said he just burned a millipede. I think that's time to go into break.
Oh!
Everybody, it's Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're listening to TalkRadar on GamesRadar.com.
So, hi everybody. Hi TalkRadar fans. We're at the Namco event. Does this have a name?
Yeah, my name is Nick Dixon, Nickdixon. I'm the creative director at Volatile Games, working on Dead to Rights Retribution.
It's the first time this franchise has been active in quite a few years.
I was going to say, this isn't a sequel.
No, it's not a sequel, it's not a prequel. You're right, the last game was seen in, I think, 2005. So games have, progressed since then. The consoles have progressed, and I think audience expectations have progressed as well. And they've matured, in terms of what they want.
I played the first one today, and I didn't think it could look dated at this point.
It's a super dated game, but I mean, it's really early last gen.
Yeah.
So that's why it's interesting to see an update of this franchise.
And I'm saying there's a compliment. I see the new one, and oh, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge amount of freedom from being able to build a franchise from the ground up again, from a year zero perspective, because it means you can take all the familiar elements and round them off and make them more concise with their world. You can take it in entirely new directions without being constricted by what has come before or what was expected. And that's given us a huge amount of freedom. We're very excited about what we've been able to do with it. And I think that there will be lots of familiar things, but there will be entirely new and unexpected things in there as well.
That's what I loved. What I love most about the original games is Grand City and Shadow.
Right.
And they're both back.
Right, absolutely. I mean,
Shadow being the dog.
Shadow the dog.
Yeah, Shadow the dog. And look, Grand City is a character in its own right in our game. We spent a huge amount of time building very, very deep concept art as to what each area of the game would look like. And I mean, each level looks very different from the last, but it all builds into this great big whole that is Grand City, and it really is a character.
I asked you, what city did you base this off of? And you're like, a little bit of Chicago, Philadelphia, Seattle. I'm like, wow. I mean, the city looks completely unique now.
Yeah, I don't want it to be placed in any particular state. It's a fictional location within a fictional state, and there's a great amount of freedom that you have with that. I mean, this place is the worst place you can imagine. It's a microcosm of greed, corruption, crime, poverty, despair, and into this walks this kind of knight in rusty armor, Jack, who is, to me in many ways, is kind of a bit like Wyatt Earp. He deals very violently with the criminals within the city, but look, they do very bad things. And you saw the first level of the game. It's set within this kind of great big modern tower kind of structure within a civic center. Look, if crime happens within a dingy back alley, well, that's where it's expected to happen.
Yeah.
As soon as some guy starts throwing women off a 15th floor balcony, it's going to stand out. So therefore, when Jack goes in, it doesn't seem out of context the violence he uses against them.
And I do want to compliment you for the violence that caused several outbursts. I believe I saw a man kicked in the nuts, fall to his knees, and then have his face opened with a slow motion punch.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very visceral, and I think that when you invest in the game, and it is a game that does require the player to invest, really, to learn how to use the tool set that we give you to whatever they want to use it. It's a freedom of emergence, freedom of expression from the player combatively. Therefore, when you pull off something cool, you want it to reward you, and it does do that.
So one of the game's big points was the close quarter combat. That's a holdover kind of from the original that you kept?
Yes. I mean, they segregated it out in the past into this level is now hand-to-hand, and this level is guns. And, recent titles, you've usually had a cutscene take you from one moment of the gameplay to the next style, from guns to hand-to-hand. We want it to be completely seamless and completely intuitive, that the player can swap between hand-to-hand and gun combat instantly, and I think we've managed to achieve that, and that is a hallmark of this particular game, I think.
The hand-to-hand for me was the highlight, which definitely was not in the first couple of games. Like, the shooting was the highlight. The hand-to-hand is so fun to watch.
There's been a lot of time and effort, actually, and I have to do a call-out to Ben Rackham, our lead animator.
Ben Rackemeyer, thank you.
Thank you, Guy. I mean, he and his team have really done a stellar job of pulling all these animations together, but Ben went above and beyond the Call of Duty because he had several... I think he had a couple of broken ribs when he did some of the motion capture for some of the moves that we were doing, but a lot of it's hand-keyed as well. And they've really kind of pulled that
Somebody
back.
told me that on the floor, that somebody got hurt in the motion capture.
That's true. Yes, they did.
What happened?
Mitch got hurt, and Ben got hurt.
Did a guy really get kicked in the nuts and punched in the face? Like, what?
Yeah, we went full on with it. We really went full on. You know,
he got lifted off the ground with a kick to the nuts.
You got to give for your art, you know. And
here's the controversial question I want to ask you: how much motion capture for the dog getting kicked?
there is the dog is not motion captured at all.
All right.
The dog is all entirely hand keyed.
And we should say that Shadow has been expanded upon.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, we saw a section down there where you were playing as Shadow with like dog senses. You could see what people were doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It was really integral that Shadow be upped in terms of the quotient for this game. So not only is he a really great AI wingman, I mean, he's
a great scout.
You can sick a guy 50 yards away and he will barrel hell for leather for that guy.
He's going to run faster than anybody can shoot him.
Yeah, absolutely. He will come back to you. He has a stealth. He's contextually able to detect whether the enemy is looking away from him or towards him. If the enemy's looking away, he will stealth up and he will take him out from behind. And it's nasty. He will put his jaws over the opponent's face and suffocate him to death. It is
like
sick.
reverse CPR.
Yeah, it's horrendous, but it's great. And you can call him back. He'll pick up weapons and bring them to you. He's a great character, but he's not there from the beginning.
They're saying this is the kind of the game that explains how Jack and Shadow came to be partners.
Yes, yes. For our origin story, and it won't be what you expect.
Is the dog his wife turned into a dog?
Oh, goodness.
Okay, who told you?
Oh, crap.
Who the hell told you that?
God, I hate curses.
Fire that person. It is. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's a really, really beautiful part of the story that is really emotive and actually quite heart-wrenching. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys feel about that when it finally emerges.
Are there any other characters returning from?
We have a number of geeky nods to the original series.
Do you have any great Christopher Walken impersonators?
No, I'm afraid we have actually really great pool of voice talent. Some of which you would recognize perhaps from other things, but generally we chose them because they brought real gravitas to the roles that we needed to. And there will be some original characters that return in entirely different form.
Okay.
You won't kind of recognize the role they play in this one, but you'll recognize the name. Others we have gone out of, and it's entirely new story.
You're telling a second ago the voice acting, the number of F-bombs.
Yeah, that's true. There are a huge number of F-bombs. I think we're going for the record in this.
What are we talking about?
But, we actually have on Games Radar, we actually posted the most swearingest games. Right. And I forgot what number one was. We actually figured out.
50 Cent.
Was it 50 Cent Bulletproof?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of disgraceful and it's kind of disgusting the amount of F-bombs I've written this, but fuck it, I don't care.
There you go.
Hey.
Your first F-bomb.
Oh, God, did I just do that?
So what's kind of...
Just bleep that out.
Yeah, what's kind of the other, like, telltale sign of this game that you're really trying to get across, like, this is why it's better than the previous two games. You have the dog, expanded role, improved CQC. Like,
I'll be honest. I don't kind of look at the previous two and judge them and judge what I want to be by comparison. When you come to something with a fresh slate, that's where you start. And I think that the advantage we've got some guys in Namco who worked on the original who we're working with, but they've been very good in allowing us and to work with them to create something that is entirely new. And you have to come at it from a very, very fresh perspective. So it's kind of like, well, what does the game need to be? Yes, it has to have the hallmarks of Dead to Rights. It's got that kind of gritty, neo-noir action, but ultimately it's about creating something that is more consistent internally with itself, that has a more consistent message, and is trying to do something fresh for itself.
Because the first one sold ridiculously well, did it not?
It did extremely well. Yeah, it did extremely well.
I understand the reboot. I didn't think something like that could seem so dated for something I liked a long time ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, things move on. I think, when you play, other games on N64, like popular first-person shooter on N64. When I first saw that game, it was the most.
The first game,
I thought it looked so realistic, but now you kind of look at it and think,
the first game did try to do so many things. In the first 20 minutes, it taught me how to aim, shoot gas canisters out of the sky, and then put me into a stripper mini game where I'm stripping to distract a bouncer for 5 minutes to no discernible rhythm.
We're certainly more centralized. We decided that mini games, were not necessarily the way to go. That other games, potentially owned a lot of the mechanics that were popular at that time. So we really had to go it our own way, and I think the hand-to-hand gun combat combined with Shadow and all those kind of mechanics really are our own definition. They're what Detroit's now should be known for.
Can you tell us about any of the voice actors?
Well, I can tell you that. What can I tell you?
You know what I'll allow? I will allow a hint that maybe 2 people in the universe would get.
Look,
you can create speculation.
We have a great guy who's voicing Jack actually.
It's not the original.
No, not the original. Entirely new voice for the character. He has this really beautiful, deep, resonant voice, but he's got such a range. He can do despair and anger, and he can switch between the two. And there are points where Jack gets really angry.
Are you giving hints to who the actor is?
I'm not.
All right.
I'm not. You're gonna have to maybe wait till E3 before I squeeze any of those out. But there's some real gems, and I chose a couple of familiar names in terms of you'd understand the voice for very particular reasons, because I wanted you to get a sense of familiarity with the character.
I saw you guys did Reservoir Dogs. Were you there with Volatile around them?
I wasn't, but yes, we did. Yeah.
You were nominated for a BAFTA
on audio. Yes,
on audio.
That's right. That's right.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, that's probably. I have a feeling this is something they'll get right.
Is it
an honor to win a BAFTA? I don't even know.
I don't think you chase awards. I think anybody who chases awards is chasing a different game than me. What I want to do is make, with the team, this is very much a we, I think we want to make something that is really just fun for a lot of people to play.
Sure.
That's our objective, is make a great game that re-establishes the franchise, that has a fantastic story, is so much fun to play, it gives you lots of whoops of joy as you're kind of playing it. If we've got that, then I personally would be a very happy man. And if someone wants to recognize the hard work of the team with an award, you won't find me arguing. But
we're going to see more of you guys at E3?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there, and the team from Namco will be there, and a couple of other guys from Volatile, and we'd be very happy to see all you guys there.
Yeah, hit us up.
And share
we'll be
a lot
around.
more information.
So this is 360, PS3, fall?
Yeah, that's
PS3,
right.
Wii, DS.
iPhone. No. It's
maybe a GameCube surprise.
It's now there's an idea. It's PS3, 360, Q4 2009. And we're all really looking forward to shipping it and getting it out there.
And before you take us out, I wanted to give one word hint on who the voice actors are.
One of them is in a very popular children's cartoon series.
Oh, I hope it's Blue's Clues.
And that's all you're getting.
Cool. Right, that'll do it.
Let's get ready to podcast! Bam! Good. Rock Band DLC. Jane's Addiction. I don't know what song you're hearing.
Oh, God.
Because I fucking hate Jane Says. Somebody look up what the album is called. I just forgot.
No.
It's called the
Nothing
album
Shocking?
every asshole in college listened to.
Nothing shocking?
It's called Shut the Fuck Up, Jane's Addiction.
Hey! Jane's Addiction is actually fantastic. Perry Farrell is a capital douchebag, but old Jane's Addiction is phenomenal.
It's called Fuck You, Dave Navarro.
Why, I can tell you soon. Jane's Addiction. Nothing shocking.
Nothing shocking.
Nothing
shocking. Bring you back into No, like I know the songs, but every other song other than Jane Says I don't recognize by name.
Well, that's out this week.
It's not.
I gotta tell you though, last week when we came in with Roll with the Changes, that shit was stuck in my head all fucking weekend.
On Friday, Brett was like trying to secretly cue the song over and over again. God damn it, this is stuck in my head. I bought it. A lot of fun to play.
Is it? It sounds like
a lot of fun to play.
Sounds like all right.
Roll with the Changes.
It's so stupid and fun.
Roll with the Changes. It's like 9 minutes long.
It is really long, but
keep on rolling. I will. I won't stop rolling. This is too good.
No, we don't stop.
Before we get into our community segment, I believe a couple dickheads won some prizes. And these were not judged by me. They were judged by a crack panel of judges who know what Warcraft is and what it's all about. We were giving away World of Warcraft.
Arthas Rise of the Lich King.
World of Warcraft.
I didn't even have to look it up. What the hell is wrong with you?
I wanted pronunciation.
Hardcover books for telling us your
Hardcover
most
books.
depressing WoW story.
WoW story. Boondock Saint 54 was awarded the most insensitive. I'm not going to read the story because it's a little offensive. Go to the forums. You can read it for yourself. GamesRadar.com/forums. TalkRadar. Specialty Drone won the very special, the coveted, most pathetic World of Warcraft story. And Flipper.
Oh, Flipper.
Flipper deserves his own sound effect.
It's been a while.
Flipper won the special award for fire safety. I hope these are good teases. Again, I'm not trying to play Panic. I'm not getting canceled. But
we'll see.
I hope.
But 50 may be the last one.
But go.
I want to say
50 has all the earmarks of a fantastic funeral. And
it's going to be a fundraiser, like Jerry's Kids.
And I'm not proud of that. Moonwalk Mafia special Sherlock Holmes award for not noticing the last name of his rendezvous was the same name as his girlfriend award. Again, I didn't award these.
So wait, how many books did we give away?
5.
5.
5 books to give away.
5 at $24.99.
5 equal to
footlongs.
5. These books will cost you $5 footlongs a piece. Valentez for having the most legitimately geeky story. Congratulations, Valentez. I think that deserves a round of applause for our WoW win roars. Dig 'em out! We're done.
So how do they redeem these prizes? Email, private message?
I almost wanted to say figure it out. Like if you care enough to win a prize and you've already posted in the forums, you'll know what to do.
Maybe this is the first time posting.
Fine. You know what? I'll get in contact via private message to these 5 people.
That's really sweet.
Everybody else is idiots. And before I move on, I would like to thank Donkey Puncher for a fantastic Brett poster. And I'm supposed to say happy birthday, Lovell.
But he won't.
I won't do it. No more happy birthdays. Not everybody can get a birthday shout out.
No.
That's the way it is.
I didn't even get one.
We have a happy birthday shout.
So
community segment.
Community. We really need a community sound effect to take us into the community segment. That won't do,
No?
sir.
I'm only going to use the existing ones. You tell me what you like. Community segment away.
All right, that's good.
I hereby dub the community segment.
Doesn't work anymore.
No?
It's not funny. Last week was question 32. What was like a very simple, plainly obvious gameplay element or puzzle you did not get and just stared at the screen like an idiot? Mine was I didn't know how to switch weapons in Mega Man, which is a...
I was an accident.
Very close to Sonic, but incredibly not. Except I was talking about Mega Man. And
For someone who was the giant Mega Man fan, that was actually, I think, a very ballsy revelation.
I know, but I was like 7. I don't know. Anyway, lots of answers. Again, a really very popular thread. A lot of people joined up. I'll get to the people who joined up. One of my favorites was John Mutrick said Beavis and Butthead for Genesis.
Oh God!
There's a room. There's a room that's all white.
It is ridiculously puzzling.
Yeah.
For a game about farting and burps and guar.
He said, there's a puzzle involving a bar of soap is white, the bathroom is white. I spent 6 hours figuring what the hell I was supposed to do until my friend told me the next day and I became almost gay for I never watched Beavis and Butthead again.
It was kind of over when the game came out.
Death by Gamer said Metal Gear Solid 1. This is a very popular one. The Colonel kept telling you, get the code off the back of the case. Nobody knew what the hell that meant. It meant literally the back of the case Metal Gear Solid came in.
Reading magazines, I had every idea. I knew.
Is Meryl?
I got it.
Is Meryl's codec number?
I got it because it was a different font on the back of the case. It was
Oh,
a little
yeah.
larger.
Oh, hey.
In the game screenshot.
Pattersnoop.
More than one person brought up a scene in Orange Box
Encyclopedia brand.
for Half-Life 2, including Aesir, A-E-S-H-I-R, where you have to lower the water level in a sewer, and a bunch of people got stuck on the same thing. Like, all you had to do was like walk left and turn a switch, but more than one person posted in this thread, like, what the fuck? Sewers.
I'm the dumbest individual in this business. I never once got stuck on Half-Life. Oh, never.
SSJ4 Reddits, who often in our
We
forums.
need to give him a better name. That's way too many syllables.
It's too many syllables. It's funny because it's from Killzone 2, but it's one that we can all identify with in spirit.
Oh, he didn't figure out how to walk forward and shoot a
guy? Where you encounter
Apologize to NeoGaf.
encounter a door that's
Killzone is the best at everything.
Yes.
You encounter a door that's covered in electricity, but the life of me, I could not figure out what to do. I spent almost an hour backtracking, like, is it key, switch I gotta flip? A friend walks up, points to the screen. What if you shoot that? And
you didn't figure that out in a game called Killzone?
That's like the first thing. That's the first way you should try to interact with anything.
That's
shoot the puzzle.
Yes. That's why it's a
It worked for Alexander the Great. It'll work for you.
That's why it's a plainly obvious puzzle he didn't get. That's why it's funny.
That's reconnect with mom. Blam.
I like this one is one that none of us can identify with because we don't play any fucking soccer games, but
I do.
He's playing PES 5, played it religiously for months and months. Then he tried FIFA, found it pretty fun, except my strikers being completely useless, couldn't make a shot for anything.
Yeah.
Took me a week to realize the square button in PES was to shoot. On FIFA, it was circle. I'd been passing the whole time.
Wow.
What? That's not a puzzle.
But
it's not a puzzle. It's one of those moments.
Yeah, you're just like, fuck. And
especially because he's clearly an accomplished soccer player. And
do manuals.
When was the last time you read a manual?
That's true.
Yeah. And then ending it all, Antista Hungry for Love.
Is that a name?
Yes.
All right.
The avatar is Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Speedo.
I'm lonely.
Antista Hungry for Love. This is the gameplay element he didn't get. All caps. Mortal Kombat had a fucking block button? What do you mean I can't hold back to block? Goro is an asshole.
Alright, I'll give him that.
That was
You can get to Goro without using the block button.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
He's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, Goro, who will present here, is very fearsome. Goro, everybody.
What was that?
Goro.
That's Blanca.
Goro.
And then the new users who signed up, again, a huge list of people. We've got Cool Bowling, whose avatar is a bowling alley. Father Peter Philia.
He's the dolphin. He's
the dolphin.
Manaconda's dolphin.
The lounge dolphin. Negrodamus, who is an avatar of Negrodamus. Awesome Possum.
Yes.
Negrodamus.
I'm awesome.
Afro Extreme. Crash Down 1. Flying MX. T3XLT. Come on, man.
Pixel.
Yeah, really?
Shiny, Salt Lick, Angry Scotsman, Extraterrestrial Phone Sex, Most Assless, Fertility, Chicken McZombie, Nannerpuss,
Congratulations,
About
Michael.
time.
and Antista Lovebot 0069, whose avatar is Wally. Count Zero, Jake Tunt 89, Gabriel Knight sucks. Brizzo and Dan Emmerich Jr. Whose avatar is a child's Ghostbusters costume.
Yes.
Shit.
Nice.
I'm really thinking our forums have the fucking best names.
You really do. You guys have unbelievably blossomed the funniest people.
Yes.
Yeah, keep it up.
Good stuff. And then also wanted to point out that Vagrant, Shane, you'll enjoy this. Vagrant in the forums pointed out same problem with FF7. A guy who's, he's weak against Cure.
Yeah.
Did you try that? All right.
No, that was my potion.
Because if there's a dead guy and life, that should cancel each other out.
saving-
I didn't know that!
I'm saving the MP for me.
I know if I just keep hitting the circle button to attack, I should kill it, right?
Sure, yeah, exactly.
The first 15 hours.
It's hack and choose.
Hack and guess. Question 33, question of the week. There'll be a thread in GamesRadar.com/forums, TalkRadar podcast. Also, first week that it will be on the live site, GamesRadar.com. Look in the features tab for question of the week or whatever Tyler decides to name it. Because it's the first one on the main site, I kind of want to make it a little bit broader.
Ooh.
I had an idea that was a little bit, maybe some people wouldn't have something to say.
So this is a bit of a...
No.
No? That's where I empty out all the sound effects.
Yes, it's the third segment that I have to go add all these sound effects in. Fucking pile of vaginas. Stop it!
What? The vagina
While flying in a centrifuge?
We had an idea of a vagina candle called a vagandle. And the joke was, who would ever like that? Because it's just going to...
your video is a candle, the one that you put on at parties.
This is true. Lost and found video.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to smell like a vagina.
That's what I love to hear. A nice...
Vagina?
Question 33. What was the first game you ever pre-ordered?
Huh.
And I had to think for a second, because off the top of my head, I was like, maybe Street Fighter II Turbo, 1993. But I don't think that's right. That seems plausible. But the first one I definitely remember walking in and pre-ordering was Battle Arena Toshinden, because it was a PlayStation launch game, and I pre-ordered PlayStation with Toshinden with Ridge Racer, so kind of all together. Then I remember that for a while I was pre-ordering every single N64 game ever that came out. I pre-ordered Blast Corps, Turok, Mario Kart, Doom 64, fucking everything. And again, you couldn't pre-order NES games as far as I knew, or even Super Nintendo games. Like, not until like 93, 94 could you start pre-ordering games. The concept didn't exist.
Mm-hmm. It's the dumbest concept. You can't pre-order milk. Store.
I do like that KFC every year lets you pre-order their chicken for Thanksgiving. Pre-order our Thanksgiving dinner. Really? I have to come back into the receipt? Anybody else? First game you pre-ordered?
I know.
Shane knows.
I never, during that whole generation, pre-ordered consoles or games, but I did pre-order Metal Gear Solid. That was my first one, because that was the only one that I knew of a bonus. They gave you the soundtrack to the game, which was 10 songs.
I remember that. It was a white CD sleeve.
Yep. I still have that to this day.
Really?
And a white T-shirt.
With the exclamation point?
No. It was just the logo.
Okay.
With, that flashes across the screen.
Rich wears that T-shirt every
No, I gave that shirt to Rich.
Yeah.
That is a VR Missions shirt, which I found in a K's merchandise, which is the equivalent of Venture / third-rate Target. Years after Metal Gear VR Missions came out, this is like 2002.
Okay.
I find a rack of VR Missions T-shirts at a fucking like JCPenney level store for $10 each, and I'm like, I have to buy.
I wish I knew what these were so we could move them.
Yeah, it's like they really found, what is this big ninja with a hand over his face?
What do people really like Metal Gear?
What's a Metal Gear Solid?
How can Metal and Gear not be solid? I don't understand this.
Yeah.
So when we pre-ordered the game, actually because it came out my freshman year of high school, I couldn't drive at the time, and the GameStop or Electronics Boutique or whatever that we pre-ordered at, my brother actually pre-ordered it for me because he was out and about. He can drive. He's 8 years older than me, so he did.
But you're gonna say he's 8 years old?
He's 8 years old, and
he's
he could,
Jack he's Robin Williams from Jack.
No, and we actually they didn't have any more of the pre-order stuff, but they would save one for us once they got new shipments in. For some reason, they're getting new shipments of pre-order shit in. Anyway, so October, when the game comes out, I'm on a cross-country meet in LA, and I was so excited because the game was coming out. My brother was going to pick it up while I was in LA on this cross-country meet, that I called him on a payphone from the hotel. Didn't have a cell phone. Didn't have a pager. I mean, pagers were starting to be.
It was 98, so...
Yeah, it was 98. I called him, and he's like, yeah, I got it. I'm like, oh my god, Metal Gear Solid! And you got the shirt? Did you tell me you got the shirt? He's like, yeah, I got the shirt. Yes, and the CD? Yeah, I got everything, Shane. Just Give it a rest. Okay. And
Oh man, 10 tracks.
And I was like, I gotta go. And he's like, you called collect. And I was like, I gotta go. I'll see you later. Bye.
To date Shane even more, he had to play the sound of a quarter falling in a phone from a tape recorder. If I could make a hacker's reference.
Do you remember that 10-10-3-2-1 and 10-10-2-20?
10-2-10-2-20.
Kids, you'll never have to deal with that again.
You know, somebody got in there and was like, dude, I can make $1 million really quick. Get the fuck out.
10-10-666. Beat that. Mine's more memorable.
First game you pre-ordered?
Mine's pathetic. I want Michael to go first.
I was trying to think of this. I think it might have been Mortal Kombat 2, but I'm not sure.
I did pre-order Mortal Kombat 2 and Final Fantasy 3. Those are both 94.
So suddenly it's your anecdote.
No.
Ooh, bam! Raparez.
I'm kidding. I have nothing else to add to that.
No justification sound? You're slipping, son.
I can
forget it.
I can tell you for sure the last game I pre-ordered, which was Super Mario Galaxy.
Wow.
Really?
And since then, I've never felt the need to do that.
Because you buy them all first day.
That's true. I go there and there's a huge stack of them, so why would I bother pre-ordering?
Yeah, that's kind of how I come from a small town, not a huge gaming culture from what I remember. But if I recall, I had, as of 10 years ago, 2 EBs, 2 Babbages, a Montgomery Ward. This is like service merchandise. To this day, I think pre-ordering is fucking stupid. And it's pretty much a way to inflate the retailer statistics. And the last game I pre-ordered was also the first game I pre-ordered. It's Grand Theft Auto 4 Special Edition.
That's the first game you pre-ordered?
I've never had a single issue of getting a game ever. To be fair, some of my best friends to this day are older kids who worked at EB. So I always had a copy held aside for me. I have shit in Tallahassee held aside for me right now.
Right. Well, for 5 years I didn't pre-order anything because of where I worked. I will not name.
Yeah. Toys are them, and
we be toys.
Yeah, I've never had like Grand Theft Auto Vice City was the game I had the most trouble getting because it wasn't available at 2 places I went, and I called EB. I'm like, Steve, yes, you. Put aside a copy. There it was. Never had a problem getting a copy of anything on launch day.
Well,
I'm so cool.
Question of the week 33. Go in the forums. GamesRadar.com/forums.
Forums.
Give us new users who sign up to answer the question get read, and favorite answers will not only be read on the podcast, will also
be posted on the page.
Now be posted on the site. Look for that article. Tyler Wilde will be putting it up.
Get famous. The line is about to blur, people. This is about to be your website.
And it came up. There was a thread that's called "What You Been Playing," and we never go into that on this podcast because it's kind of like, do you care what we're playing?
Yeah,
really?
I'm playing something for work, and I can give you like a what do you call it? A homogeneous, a clinical diagnosis of what I'm doing, or I'm playing something really old you don't care about.
Yeah, like right now I'm playing Web of Shadows. Do you want to hear me talk about Web of Shadows?
I just restarted Half-Life 2.
Yeah.
Playing
I just met Dog. This is crazy.
Yeah, I'm doing World at War multiplayer.
If you really I honestly played probably about 17 games in 360 alone last weekend.
Yeah.
My gamer tag is not hard to find. If you care, you'll find it.
Well, also, the bigger part is GamesRadar.com has profile pages, and you can make a list of games. I'm playing, I want, I love, I hate. You can see what I'm playing right now. Up until today, I was playing Punch-Out, which we'll probably get into that a little later.
That game looks...
It really is. Punch-Out for Wii.
That's what sucks. I'm so mad about certain situations, but I love
the game.
The new Punch-Out.
The game is really good. But before we get out of here, I did want to point out I wanted to start a new thread contest. I've got 4 cool T-shirts to give away. 2 of them from the Street Fighter 4 Championships.
Oh, those are the ones you can't get.
Yes, I don't know where the hell you'd even get these. They were throwing them out. They had a media lounge, so I saw them and I grabbed them. 2 of them. One is Dalsum Yoga Studio, and the other one is it says Bison Power in Bison Street Fighter. They're really,
okay.
Got
it.
They're both extra large, so you can live in them. But they're cool shirts. If you fit in an extra large, these are cool shirts to have. The thread I'm going to start is...
What do they got to do, Brett Elson?
Well, to win these shirts, you got to find... okay. You've got to find the thread I'm going to post in GamesRadar.com/forums. What's your most embarrassing T-shirt game story? Your game T-shirt story. And it stems from, like, a month ago, I'm a big Black Costume Spider-Man fan.
No.
No doubt. No shit.
Not you.
I have to buy anything with the black costume in it, and I found out McDonald's had black costume Spider-Man toys. There were 2 though in the set of like 10 shitty Happy Meal toys.
He bought every Happy.
No, it's worse. There's one in the Haight, which is near where I live.
Recently?
Yes, this is like a month ago. I walk 8 blocks in the middle of the afternoon. I'm literally online, find out that these exist. Oh my god, there's a McDonald's within walking distance. I literally leave my house.
It's a homeless haven there.
I walk 10 blocks or whatever to this McDonald's. I walk in the door, realize I'm wearing a black costume Spider-Man shirt.
Guess what I want?
Asking him. Yes. And I open my mouth. Yeah. Oh, fuck. And do you have any black costume Spider?
I'm here for the concert.
I work there. They can't charge you more than $2.
Then I found out.
Problem.
I
Could
found
you please
out.
Feed my addiction.
All right. So I will start the thread. Tell me the best / most embarrassing game T-shirt related story.
God damn it! Should I start them off just because if Tyler Nagato's listening?
I have 4 shirts. 2 of them
5.
are the Street Fighter ones, and 2 are Naruto shirts from 3 Naruto shirts. Shane has just pledged his own, so 5
No,
shirts.
fuck that! I want the Dulzeme T-shirt. I'm going to post in the forums.
Good.
I'm eligible.
I'm the one deciding. You will not win.
Oh, that's not true. I can steal one black costume thing off your desk and not tell you.
I will notice immediately.
I'll be the winner.
I will notice.
But test that at some future date.
Two shirts are Street Fighter. 3 shirts are Naruto from Shippuden.
And I gotta say, there's Naruto shirts. I saw the tag. I'm like, damn it, a Naruto shirt. You can't tell those are Naruto.
You can't
shirts.
tell it's a Naruto shirt, so it doesn't matter. It's just if you want a Naruto shirt or a Street Fighter shirt.
They're not bad shirts. The Street Fighter shirts are fucking awesome.
They're really cool, and I don't know where else you'll really see them. Teases for next week.
I just want to tease Brett Elston's soundtracks article because I had a good time with it. I just wanted to say my favorite soundtrack for a game is Skate.
Really?
I'm editorializing. That's why this song is ending us.
Oh. Yeah, I had Road Rash in there because it was like the first Road Rash for 3DO. It was like the first game that kind of had a let's license modern bands to be.
It was the first one I recall.
Soundgarden, etc.
But what about Rock and Roll Racing?
That was all.
I never played that, but
I
loved that game.
That was also Tim and Jeff Fallon who did Silver Surfer, which is also in the feature. Yeah. Those guys are fucking good. Also did Plock.
Let's move on.
All right. Somebody else tease something for next week.
I don't have anything going up for next week because I'll be working on a super secret video. But this week I have my Wolverine feature, and if you're reading today, I have a salute to swine, not at all related to the swine flu that is killing people in Mexico.
Everybody you love, by the way.
Everyone you love.
It's so different from a regular flu.
I also wanted to do a quick shout out to the soundtrack feature because I really like Aquatic Ambience, and if you go to OC Remix, download one of the ones there because that is like a perfect song.
Yeah, Overclocked Remix. I linked to them via Mega Man 1, but also they have a couple of really good Aquatic Ambience remixes.
One of the dudes is supposed to be on here eventually, right?
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
Hey, dickhead, come on.
They're really busy, but they also don't.
Love your stupid site. Jesus Christ.
I love that site. Overclocked Remix.
Yeah.
If you like game music in the slightest, you will.
It's amazing.
Immediately fall in love. Disco Dan, I think, on the site has a really good Aquatic Ambience remix. Hopefully something from Punch-Out will go up next week.
God, I love the goddamn Punch-Out.
It's kind of in a weird state of flux at the moment, but there's a chance it could still happen.
The music is phenomenal.
Music is good.
The gameplay is halfway great, and then I can't even say it. I can't.
It's really weird.
We're told not to say it right now, but it takes a swing.
Yeah,
crazy swing. I love the new Punch-Out. I can't recommend that game enough at this point.
It's mostly great, but there's.
It's mostly great and really old school, really tough. Yes. But there's some parts of it you're just like.
It's tough, but I got immediately back in the zone.
Yeah,
it's been 15 years. I was there again immediately.
Yeah. I want to throw out that it's hardcore.
It's super. Yeah. It's not. It doesn't fucking.
For the listeners,
the thing is, like, if you're gonna play Street Fighter, you have to memorize way more.
Yeah,
you have to than you do with Punch-Out.
Right.
But Punch-Out is a very close equivalent. Like, there's a lot going on. Michael teases.
Woo!
Well, next week I'm working on something to do with the 80s.
Oh, the 80s.
Oh.
Yes.
Would that be a feature for Games Radar?
It would be a feature for Games Radar.
I'm working on so many of those. Whatever. Just congratulate Michael on his 16 movie feature.
You should all go look at that because that was a fucking bear to do.
Yes.
It took me, like, all of last week, so...
And by the way, not
did it for your
one of these
sins.
movies aren't terrible. Michael did just die for your sins.
He did
critically.
it for your sins. Jesus for pardon.
All that stuff you did.
I actually had to watch every video game movie in existence for this stupid argument.
For you.
If I was doing it, I would have found the first stupid clip, probably in the first 4 minutes, called it a day. Instead, we got, did I not play? Sorry, I'm glad you waited this long. M. Bison, Floating Desk.
Surely you've heard of it. It levitates bullet trains from Tokyo to Osaka. It levitates my desk, where I ride the saddle of the world.